Hello, everybody. Nice to meet everyone today. Let's start this off by talking about driving because everyone does some driving in this series, some more terrifying than others. Was there any precision driving training for y'all? Was it all stunts? If so, how'd that go? Was anyone nervous?
I'll start this one if that's okay with y'all. I decided to sign up for some stunt driving classes on just like on my own. And I got my level 2 cert because I was like really like I wanted to do some of the driving and pull like a Tom Cruise, but didn't really work out this time because like they at the end of the day, the Amazon's main priority is safety and like making sure obviously that we don't like derail our whole production by like someone getting hurt or something like that. But I think eventually I'm just going to keep preparing for in case if there is a moment where I can drive and I can do some of the cool stunts that I'm ready for it, you know?
I'm completely on the most opposite end of that spectrum in the sense that I still do not have my license. So, like, any and all car education I ever had came from prepping for this with the mechanics and then with Michael. You taught me so much.
I know we worked on one of my cars together in Toronto, which was really
Oh,
fun. It was like a little fun garage day.
Yeah.
amazing.
Older Sam is not really into racing cars anymore, and I think that's part of her season arc. I think Logan tries to help her find her mojo a little bit. I'm not sure if you've watched
Oh,
all of
I've watched all of it. Let's go.
Oh, it's a
Oh,
good time.
sick.
Yeah, so spoiler, when he gifts her back her car, I think it's a really sweet moment and harkens back to a time in Samantha's life when she was actually fun. But like Natalie, she's a middle-aged lady now who just prefers to ride her bike around. So I didn't actually get to do any of the fun stunt stuff, and I'm okay with that.
Well, that actually segues into something I wanted to ask both Melissa and Natalie. I'm sorry, Michael. We'll come back to you.
It's okay. Totally fine.
Women who not only love cars but can fix and restore them is not a common Hollywood storyline. And frankly, Caitlyn and Sam are both kind of badass. So tell us about taking on this role. Are you into cars yourselves? I mean, I know Melissa, you were telling your education just kind of started here, but maybe you've grown into it more now.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think that I mean, like playing a young Latina that's into cars, like that's just really not something that's on screen at all. So before shooting started, like I mean, Michael was there for a lot of the like truly like anxiety, panic attacks that I was like having because I really was treating Caitlyn with such delicacy. I was like, this is a major thing that like a lot it's really important and a lot of young girls can see themselves in maybe a career path or a hobby that they wouldn't otherwise. So I didn't know anything about cars, but I really just like tried my hardest to honor that and make it as truthful as possible. And also I think the aspect of it that helped me was that Caitlyn is such a car girl through and through, but with Unbeaten specifically, which is the one we watch her restore this season, it represents so much more than a car. Like it's her dad and her fixing up that car is kind of patching up that like hole in her soul of not knowing who her dad is, if he's alive, if he is alive, why hasn't he come back? Like it was a lot of things. And I think her fixing that car sort of maybe helped ease that wound a little bit.
A little bit
But
of healing. Mhm.
yeah.
And for you, Natalie, I mean, like you said, you're rediscovering your love of all of this stuff. You're reconnecting with it. But what was this like for you going into the role?
Well, there was a little bit of deja vu having, my first movie having been Fast and Furious,
Mhm.
Tokyo Drift, which still has such a loyal fan base to this day all around the world. So I guess my experience with cars really has been limited to that one film, but has this enduring appeal that it's, led to this role 20 years later, which I think is something that, needs to be recognized. Um, and at the same time, I was really grateful that I am just, the mom in this show and I didn't have to do all those late night shoots filming with the cars and the racing, because I do remember what that was like in Fast and Furious, and that may be fun for someone like Michael. But if you're like not into it, it's a bit tedious. So, I think I had just the right amount of exposure and contact with the cars in this show as is comfortable for me. So I'm very grateful for that.
That's fair. All right, so Motorheads is a series that deals with like a lot of firsts going on. So I thought I'd ask some questions related to your firsts on the show. So the first step in getting a role is the audition. So tell us about your audition process.
I
Uh,
mean, for me, oh, sorry.
no,
Do you
no,
want
no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. I was
to?
like, I'll go second.
Mine came in the same way that they all do. It was just a self-tape request via email, and I read the storyline, and I thought it was a lot more like uh just car heavy than it was. And then I read the script and immediately was like, holy shit, this is a brilliant story. The car is it's not a car, it's her dad. And there was like a lot of like messiness and just like it felt very just like a very like throwbacky show. And I put myself on tape and went through the process and chemistry read with Uriah, and then I booked it the next day.
For me, okay, so I was like in Spain for some like brand thing I was doing, and then I got the script and they were like, hey, like Michael, I don't know if you would like want this. And I literally, since I first signed with my agency, I was like, guys, my dream would be to do a project that's combining my passion of cars and film and television. And they were like, okay, cool. So like we found this script, like if you like it, like let us know. And I read it like instantly and I was in love with it. And I was like, how I need to meet with these people. Like I need to talk to them. I need to tell them. And they're like, well, chill out. Like let's send in a tape first. So I sent in a tape and then they like basically sent me some notes. I sent in another tape and I got a wound up meeting with Jason and Johnny, our showrunners, and we like Zoomed. And I was actually in a U-Haul because I was like picking up one of my cars from Vegas for like a photo shoot or something like that. And I was like towing it back to Los Angeles. And they were like, I was like, yeah, I'm actually in like a U-Haul. And they're like, oh, really? Okay, yeah, go ahead. Show us the car that you're picking up. And I like went and I like showed them my like one of my cars. And they're like, oh, like you're really about this, huh? And I was like, yeah, no, yeah, like I love this stuff. And then they were like, all right, cool, we're gonna send you another scene. And I sent in, they sent me like a couple more scenes. I sent in the tapes, and then I wound up booking it. And yeah, that was it for me though. I didn't get to do any chem reads or anything like that, but yeah.
That's still a great story. I just got in the chat that we need to wrap. So Natalie, I don't even get to hear your story.
Don't worry, I did an audition. They offered it to me, so we're
Perfect story. There we go. I hope all of you have an amazing rest of your day, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Bye, Chelsea.